Can you hear me? All right, great. My name's Kendra, and I'm a colon cancer survivor. How many of you out there, this is your first relay? I can't really see you because of the bright lights, but my first relay was 8 years ago, and it was right down the road at Green Hill Park, and it's kind of hard to believe that it's been that long, only because sometimes when you're in the thick of going through cancer, it just seems kind of surreal, and you ask yourself, did that really happen to me? Especially for me, at the time I was 32, and I had colon cancer, and not many people who are that age, you don't think of getting colon cancer. So my story starts kind of right around this time of year, 8 years ago. My symptoms were the classic colon cancer symptoms. I won't get into detail because you can look that up. But my symptoms were kind of getting more worse and progressively, and as me, I'm stubborn, kind of put it off. You know, after having kids, you kind of think it's other things that's going on down there. So I put it off, and put it off, and put it off. Sometimes moms do that kind of thing. They're just kind of too busy taking care of kids, running around, and just put things aside. Life was busy with 2 young boys at the, can you hear me? Okay. At the time, and summer was in full swing. We had summer trips planned. We went to Universal Studios, and we also went to Michigan to visit family that my husband's from Michigan. So we went up there, and it was an exhausting summer for me. I just knew that I was really exhausted, and I didn't know why. And we got back from the trips and getting back into the swing of going to school, getting the boys ready for school, and going back to work. And I just found myself really exhausted at work. And one day I just broke down, and I was shaking, and I just did not feel myself. And I just didn't know what was wrong with me. And my coworkers and my manager said, "You're not allowed to come back to work until you go to the doctor." They said it jokingly. Well, made appointments to get checked for whatever, and they referred me to a gynecologist, oncologist. And the first time I heard them say oncology, I thought cancer. I was like, why are they sending me there? So I went, and she did examinations, and they just couldn't really tell where the mass would be, where the mass was, because I had a bulge, and they just didn't know where. So she set me up for a surgery, for an exploratory surgery, to find out what things were going on down there. And so I went to pre-surgical testing, where they take your blood, make sure everything's all right before you get into surgery. Came back, and they said, you cannot go into surgery next week. You are moderate to severe anemic, so you need a blood transfusion before you even set foot in that hospital. So I had to spend all day on a Saturday getting a blood transfusion. I think it was like 2 bags. So and the nurses were just like, "How in the world did you walk in here?" And I was like, "I don't know, I'm just really tired." So after that, I felt a lot better with a lot more blood inside my body. So I went, it was November 13th, 2007. I went in for surgery. I was under anesthesia, and you know, obviously they do what they need to do. They obviously scoped, gave me a colonoscopy pretty much, and right then and there they knew exactly what it was. I had a rectal cancer, so I didn't really get cut open or anything that day. So when I was coming out of anesthesia, I was like, wow, I'm not feeling any pain, because I've had surgeries before, and I knew how much pain you are in after you wake up. And I kind of caught a glimpse of the clock that was off to the side, and I was like, wow, that was kind of quick. Wonder what's going on. And so kind of was in and out, and then I got back to my room, my recovery room, and kind of was waking up, and off to the left I saw my husband, and my mom was on the right side, and I could just see my husband off to the right, and his eyes were just swelled up with tears. And I looked at him and I said, "It's cancer, isn't it?" And he said, and I asked my mom, and I said, "Is it cancer?" And she's like, "Well, why don't we just wait till the doctors come in?" I was like, "Well, you better tell me. They're going to tell me anyway." And I pretty much knew. Just had that feeling. So after that, they lined me up with appointments. I call it my cancer chaos. It's pretty much what it was. You get thrown into it really fast, and it's kind of like a whirlwind, and you know, had to meet with a radiation doctor because they wanted to shrink the tumor before they could do surgery, because it was the size of an average fist. If you hold your fist up, that's about how big my tumor was. If they would have done surgery, I would have had a permanent colostomy, and they didn't want to, it wasn't obstructing anything, amazingly, so it wasn't life-threatening. So what they did was they gave me radiation, set up appointments, and met with that doctor, and I said, "So when is that going to start?" A few days. He's like, "Oh no, you'll have one today. We'll have to get you measured and set up and everything." And I was like, "Oh wow." And then I met with my other oncologist, and you know, went through the plan for my treatment. This was all to shrink my tumor down so it's operable. I went through a lot of, I want to say blood, sweat, tears, but a lot of pain, you know, because it's a lot to go through, and getting stuck in a port. I had to have a port put in for my chemotherapy, and some days you don't feel like you want to keep going, and you know you have to. And I remember I was like down to my last few treatments for my chemotherapy, and I remember my sister called me. I was just like, "I just can't do this anymore." And she said, "You can. You're strong, Kendra." But when I had to I had to wear a chemo pack, which was 24/7. I had to figure out how to do that, and they shrunk my tumor down to a peanut size, so it was operable. And then I had surgery in February of the next year, which was 2008. I had a colon resection, lost 21 inches of my colon. Not 21 inches, 21 centimeters, sorry. So that was a fair amount. I had to have a temporary ileostomy. And that was an experience on its own. I had to learn how to do that. And after that, I had to have 6 more months of chemotherapy. And through it all, I just had to hold strong to my faith that I had, and all the friends and family that was giving me the support that I needed, which was, I'm so thankful and grateful. I had a lot of setbacks some days, but I had a lot of victories too. The littlest things that we take for granted were my really big victories, like learning how to use the bathroom again. I never thought that I would have had to go through something like that, but it has made me stronger, and I had to find a new normal. But I overcame that, and they're going to play a song here in a bit, and it's about overcoming. And sometimes you may think, well, I haven't overcome cancer yet, but you are. The day you were told you had cancer, you started overcoming it in your mind, and you knew that you had to be strong, and just the little things you overcome. So if you would just listen to the song, it's called Overcomer. And thank you.